All right, JJ Flash here at Trump 45 PBC in Palm Beach with the one and only Garcia da Rosa.
How you doing, JJ?
Great.
Good to see you.
I understand you're running for Congress.
Yes, I'm running for Congress here in Florida's 21st Congressional District. We're going to take that seat away from Lois Frankel.
And she needs to have it taken away. How about our presidents last week? What do you think of that?
Incredible. Winning, 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 winning is the only way to be able to describe it. Winning. You know, we got to get rid of Lois Frankel. Why? Because she was one of the instigators of the whole impeachment farce. And, you know, we just got to take her out.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we got her voting, I'm sure we did. I saw it, voting for impeachment. They all got to go, you know, even including, you know, no rhinos in the House, but we know we might have one in the Senate.
Yeah, we got to get rid of the rhinos, but all I can focus on right now, the only thing I'm going to focus on is removing Lois Frankel from the Florida's 21st Congressional District seat, taking myself to Washington, D.C. to fight on behalf of not only my constituents, but for all of the American citizens.
Well, that's, you know, I'm sure that President Trump would love to hear that and have more congressmen on his side, because we really need to rock the House, do a real clean sweep, because what we saw from Pelosi, Schiff, Nadler, that's obscene. I mean, it was a seditious conspiracy.
It not only seditious, in my opinion, reprehensible. We got to win this House back. Once we win the House back, we'll be able to keep the Senate. Imagine the next 4 years, JJ, okay? President Trump, the House in Republican hands, Senate in the Republican hands.
Yep.
Imagine what we're going to be able to accomplish on behalf of the American people.
Well, that's the most important thing, you know. We know there's a little primary tonight in New Hampshire. I don't know why any stations are giving any time, because it was a cluster mess last week in the Iowa caucuses. They couldn't get that right. They still don't know who won. And now they're jerking around up there. And, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. We have our special president is having his rally in Nashville, New Hampshire. How's that?
Exactly. Best way to be able to take a focus away from the Democrats is President Trump.
Did you see how many turned out for the Iowa caucus? Right? They got all mixed up, couldn't get their vote tallied ready even 7 days later. Trump got 98% of the vote in the caucus in Iowa.
Exactly. You know, the one thing, you know, you look at it this way. The Democrats, what have they done? The only thing they can accomplish is nothing, okay? Our president, even with the last 3.5 years of every single Democrat in Congress, in the Senate, working against him, look at everything he's been able to accomplish.
And don't forget the fake news. The media is the number one crusher. My only concern now is knowing what we've seen from the other side, those socialists, they call them socialist Democrats et al., is Bloomberg now can just walk in and buy the race. What do you think about Bloomberg's chances getting a nomination, which I think he'll buy? I don't think he's got a shot against the president, but
Bloomberg has absolutely no chance whatsoever. Just like Bernie Sanders had no chance the last time, Bloomberg has no chance. The nomination on the Democrat side definitely will go to Biden.
If he makes it, I don't know. I saw Sleepy Joe today, and it looked pretty rough. But what I would say is, you know, with knowing what we know about Bloomberg, he'll spend any amount of money. And we're talking in the billions. That's obscene, and that actually should be curtailed. But I think he's going to be the odds-on. I don't think he's got a shot, because I saw his latest commercial with Barack Hussein Obama. Remind us about health care.
Exactly.
I think that's no good. What do you think?
That's no good whatsoever. The reality is this: whoever the Democrats actually field, none of them stand a chance against President Donald J. Trump. Just like in the last election cycle, there were so many people that were afraid to speak openly about Trump, but when they got behind the voting polls, they got behind the curtain, they pulled that lever for Donald J. Trump. If you thought it was close last time, it's definitely going to be a landslide going into November of 2020.
Well, I agree with you. I think that's the best. So the only caveat I would have to that is knowing that they have the House, the right to impeach. You got some really sick people there, you know, between Nadler, Schiff, and Pelosi. So what I see is that if they could do all that damage and literally impeach us in the House with no real money, just power, right? The intel agencies, the fake news, what could they do with Bloomberg's $2 billion? That's the only thing that they could buy every politician and corrupt the whole election.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the Democrats will do everything possible. Look at what they've done over the last 3.5 years. Once Donald J. Trump wins the next election, he gets 4 more years. From that very moment, they're going to go full hardcore press. It wouldn't surprise me if Bloomberg were to use his billions to try to buy off politicians to remove our president, but it ain't going to happen.
And he can't buy the hearts and minds of the people.
Cannot buy the hearts and minds of the people, no.
Well, Vic, this is great.
Trump supporters are faithful, okay? That's one thing. They will stand behind President Trump no matter what.
Yeah, and then I just saw some stats today. We got 28% of the black vote, 38% of Hispanic, so I mean, that would be perfect, and that's good for your race.
Absolutely, it'd be perfect for my race.
Well, let's wrap that. We'll talk a little while. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Dan the Man.
God bless.